How's she going, boys? Mike here, welcome back to Grampie's workshop. It's a little overcast today and a little bit of fog still on the lake, hasn't burned off yet. But anyways, that's no problem, because we're going to be working on the woodshed again. Let's get at her. I think it's more important to make it level or flush with the top plate rather than make it level at the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to nail that up. I wish it had grooves in it, but it's hard to put the grooves in. So I'm going to go get another sheet and put up beside it while I'm in the mood. So the first piece always goes up the easiest. Now what's happening is I have to get the joint as tight as I can at the bottom, and then I'm going to take my nailer strip, loosen that off and lower that down on the right hand side to get those sheets to line up. I think it's important that the tops be level, and I have to get that joint as tight as I can right here. So I'm going to take that ledger that I put on the bottom, I'm going to take that off, see what happens, see if I can lower that sheet down a little bit. Well, that joint there, it's not like smoking tight, but it's a lot tighter at the top than it is at the bottom, but that's about as good as I could get it. Well, another beautiful day here, getting back at the woodshed. I got the sheathing on this side with two full sheets. So what I'm going to start today is I'm going to start to rip this off, because I'd rather put the full sheets on and then come back and do the pieces, right? So we're going to start peeling the lattice off the front here and take the door out and the door frame and whatnot. I think I'm going to have to frame up for another door. I've got an old storm door here that I'm going to use, put on, see how that works. So I got the lattice all off, but the door opening here is only 30 inches. And the door I have, the storm door, is 32 or 36 inches, I mean. So I have to make that door bigger. Doesn't look that bad, eh? Don't worry about this corner, because I'm going to have corner boards go on there, cover that up. That's what trim is for, right? All right. I wish it had grooves in it, eh? But it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to nail her on. Alright, so I ended up taking, as you can see, this lattice completely out. I have to make this door opening 36 inches wide, which means those two studs should be over around here somewhere. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut and frame out the door right back here. Then I'll cut these studs out, put another header in to help support the roof up there. But I'll leave these studs in until I get these ones. I'll put a king stud and a jack stud in here to support the door. That's going to be the plan. So the door opening has to be 36 inches. So I'm going to measure about 36.5 inches over to here. And that's where I'll set my, my jack stud and then put a king stud beside it. So I'm going to use this 2x4 because I know that it fits in here. This is going to be the king stud. I'm putting these studs in with just wood screws, but you have to be careful when you use wood screws because they shear off right easy. They're not good for structure, but for this application right here, I'm just screwing the stud in place. The load that comes on this is going to be like straight down, eh? Compression load on it. It's not going to be trying to push the stud out from the sides or anything like that. So screws should work all right. But I would highly recommend, like if you're building structure, like if you're building a deck or something and you're putting some beams in or something, something that's going to hold a load, support a load, I'd use nails, not screws, because screws will shear off on you. It's amazing how quickly they'll break, and it doesn't take much to break them. I'm no carpenter, eh? Don't ever take what I'm doing as the gospel or a how to do instructional video. This is not a how-to channel that I have. It's a this is what I do channel, and sometimes what I do is it's not correct. Say it's not according to code. I like to make it as safe and secure as I can, but like I don't know what the building code is, so oftentimes what I'm building is not to code. I know some things aren't to code that I do, but I understand that, and I still try to make them as safe as I can. So don't take what I do as a matter of fact how-to video. This is just a demonstration of what I do. All right, remember that. That's not just this video. My whole channel is like that. Okay, so I want to cut the jack stud now. I was going to cut it 80.5, but I'm going to cut it 80 3/4 just to make sure I have enough room. right there. Wow, that saw cuts nice. Now, because I already have that sheathing on the front, I didn't realize I was going to have to cut this out. So that sheathing covers part of that stud, so I don't want to cut the sheathing, so I'm going to use my handy dandy trim saw to cut that top piece out. So I cut some 2x6 headers out of some of the rough lumber that Derek had milled up for me for the boathouse repair. So I was glad I had some of that left over. Let's see if it'll fit. So the header went in okay. I like that. I've got a gap up here, but I'm just going to cut some pieces to put in there to support that. So there's another day's work done for me.